Hello everyone, I'm the storyteller and I'm here to help you today. I know you use this video to fall asleep. So before that, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, where are you from and what time are you watching now? Get comfortable and relax. Room 211. The sign was missing a few letters, so the flickering neon outside read me to Piney Motel. The Piney Motel squatted on the outskirts of Bangor, Maine, like a tired old man with no place left to go. The parking lot was empty except for a rusted pickup truck with a for sale sign in the window. The air smelled of wet leaves and stale grease. Kevin Hartley, a traveling salesman with a trunk full of vacuum cleaners and a head full of bad decisions, was desperate. The rain had been coming down in sheets. His phone was dead, and the next town wasn't for another 30 miles. So when the clerk behind the counter, a wiry guy in a stained polo shirt and a name tag that read Denny, slid a key across the counter and said, "Any room but 211. Kevin barely listened. "Why not 211? Kevin asked, just to make conversation. Denny shifted uncomfortably. "Motel policy. It's... just don't. We got plenty of other rooms." Kevin should have left it alone. But something about the way Denny wouldn't meet his eyes bugged him. "What's the deal? Haunted or something?" "Or something," Denny muttered, already turning back to his crossword puzzle. 5 minutes later, Kevin was unlocking the door to room 211. The room was like every other cheap motel Kevin had ever stayed in. Brown carpet, mustard yellow bedspread, and a TV older than most of his clients. The air smelled faintly of mildew and something sweeter, like overripe fruit. But it was warm, and the bed looked soft enough. Kevin dropped his suitcase on the floor and kicked off his shoes. The rain was hammering against the window, the kind of storm that made you feel like the world was ending. He turned on the TV. Static. Typical. As he settled onto the bed, a strange sensation prickled at the back of his neck, like he was being watched. He glanced around. The closet door was slightly ajar, just enough to show a sliver of darkness inside. "Creepy," Kevin muttered. He got up and yanked it open. Empty, of course. Still, the feeling wouldn't go away. He told himself it was just the weird vibe of the place. Maybe he'd watched too many horror movies as a kid. Sometime after midnight, the screaming started. Kevin sat bolt upright, heart pounding. The sound wasn't coming from outside. It was in the room. A woman's voice, high-pitched and desperate. "Stop! Please! No!" He scrambled out of bed, fumbling for the light switch. The room lit up, but there was no one there. The screaming stopped abruptly, leaving only the sound of his ragged breathing and the rain outside. Kevin told himself it was a dream. Stress, maybe. Too much caffeine. He crawled back into bed and tried to ignore the chill creeping up his spine. The second time he woke, it wasn't to screaming. It was to the sound of water dripping. Slow, steady, like a leaky faucet, except it wasn't coming from the bathroom. It was coming from the ceiling. He stared up at the dark stain spreading above him, a steady drip, drip, drip falling onto the bedspread. You've got to be kidding me, he muttered. But when he reached up to touch the spot, his fingers came away sticky. It wasn't water. It was red. The morning came, but it didn't bring relief. Kevin packed up his things and headed straight for the front desk. What the hell is wrong with that room? He demanded. Denny didn't look surprised. I told you not to stay there. What is it? Ghosts? Some kind of sick prank? Denny leaned in close, his voice low. Room 211 doesn't let people leave. Kevin laughed nervously. I'm standing right here. For now. It started again the next night. The screaming, the dripping ceiling. But this time Kevin didn't wake up alone. There was someone sitting in the corner, a shadowy figure with a knife glinting in the dim light. And blood, so much blood. Kevin froze. His breath caught in his throat. The figure stood slowly, turning toward him. It was a man, but his face was distorted, like a reflection in a warped mirror. You did this, the man said, his voice hollow and accusing. What are you talking about? Kevin stammered. You killed her. The days blurred together after that. Kevin woke up each morning to the same rainy night. He tried to leave, but every road led back to the Piney Motel. Every room key led to 211. And every night, he relived the murder. The screaming woman, the blood, the man with the knife. Except each time, the details shifted. Sometimes Kevin was the man with the knife. Sometimes he was the one begging for his life. Kevin didn't know how long he'd been trapped. A week, a year. Time had lost all meaning. One night, as the rain poured down outside, he stared into the bathroom mirror. His reflection stared back, gaunt and hollow-eyed. But there was something else in the mirror. A shadow standing just behind him. You have to remember, it whispered. The next time the loop started, Kevin finally saw it. The moment of the murder. A young woman in a red dress, her face twisted in terror. And himself standing over her with the knife. Or was it him? When Kevin woke up again, he was back in room 211, but the air felt different. He looked around, and for the first time, the door wasn't locked. As he stepped out into the rain, he glanced back at the motel. The sign was dark now, and room 211, empty, waiting for the next desperate traveler to ignore the warning. The end.